I'll wait. I'll wait. It's time to fight fire with fire. There's no need for me to do a video after this one. I gave black women the warning to save black women, that we were being invaded by transsexuals. But now I'm doing this last video for myself. So there's no need for me to go live after this, because I want to say what the fuck I gotta say before all this shit is said and done. I wait for more people to come to the chat. Now you see the name of the fucking title. Whatever questions that you have concerning the title, put it in the comment section. I'm gonna take a piss and then I'll be right back. Hello? No, I want your questions. I want your questions. Now, as you already know, this nigga, older offspring, I don't call him a son because he's not a son, he's a demon. This older offspring of mine is going to do an interview with Tommy Sotomayor. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what I read in the comment section. Now, I find it kind of weird that he keeps talking about me beating his ass. If I could, I would have killed the motherfucker, because then I wouldn't be going through none of this bullshit. I shouldn't have just beat his ass with a fucking extension cord. I should have killed that motherfucker before he ran out the door to the police station that day. Then none of this would have even happened. And let me tell you something. I tried everything. I did not raise him. I gave him away at the age of 4.5. It was either 4.5 or 5 years old. I gave him to my foster mother because I was about to become homeless. When I got him back at the age of 12, after I got myself situated with the Section 8, this kid was not the same child. He was a problem child. He broke shit around the house. He used to piss on the toilet seat on purpose. My bathroom smelled like Grand Central Station. He did this on purpose. He broke things around the house on purpose. He stole from me, money from me out of my purse. He was getting into fights at school. I was running to the school every 2 weeks. I even had to transfer schools because it was getting so bad. He made my life a living fucking hell. And yes, I beat his fucking ass. But what else did I do? I kissed his ass. I tried to be nice to him. I used to buy him things, even though he didn't deserve it, hoping. I tried to buy his love with Angelo's check. Go figure. I took Angelo's check because I was, at the time, did Angelo have Social Security? No, that was before Angelo had Social Security. I took his father's check because his father used to give me an allowance. I'm sorry. That was later on. I got that mixed up. But I took his father's check because his father used to give me money and I used to fucking spend it on my son. The allowance that his father gave me for myself, I used to spend it buying this nigga video games, PlayStation, all type of shit, trying to get this nigga to act right. Nothing act right. Nothing worked. Kissing ass didn't work. Ass whippings didn't work. Talking till I was blue in the face about life, about why you should act right, why you should do good in school. Nothing worked. He was a fucking demon. And did I tell you about the little nigga that lived up the street from him, who I thought he was fucking? I said what I said. There was a kid named Frankie up the street. And tell me why me and his father would be in the living room chilling, watching TV, and this nigga come through the door smelling like pure ass. Pure ass. And me and his father looked at each other like, do you smell that? And I'm like, yeah, it smell like ass. Like somebody didn't wash their ass for a week. He probably was fucking him. Now, if you want details to this story, you can go into the comment section of the video where I give black women the last warning, and you will see me. I wrote a long story on the whole rape and how it went down. Now, how do I know he got raped? Because both foster mothers told me that his backside area, I'm talking about Angelo, they said that it was in a bad condition. They said it was red and it was gaped open. I said, what do you mean in a bad condition? And the lady, her name is Miss Sanders. That's the foster mother that's the second foster mother. And she said, I'm putting Vaseline on the area so it can heal. Every time we went to the agency, they would not let me change Angelo. And she said, she would be all nervous. I changed him before we came, so you don't need to change him. And she would sit there and babysit me and his father. So I could not go into the bathroom and check Angelo's anal area. But what I do know is what she told me. She told me the same thing the first foster mother told me, that the area was bad and it was gaped open. Gaped open. That's what the first foster mother said. It was gaped open. And then the second foster mother told me that the area was healing. So after the rape happened, after it first happened, she told me that it was gaped. That's the first foster mother. And the second foster mother told me that the area was healing, that the skin was broken and that it was healing, and she was putting Vaseline on it. So he was raped. And not only that, he had a black eye. When I went to the agency to see him, after they released me from prison, I was in prison over the weekend. They released me. They made me wait 4 days. 4 fucking days to see my child. They broke the law because they were supposed to let me see my child 24 hours after he was released. After I was released from the prison. They did not do that. They tried to make sure his black eye was healed up. But even then, 4 days later, it was still fucked up. The inside of the eye was like a pinkish color, like a burgundy, like a light burgundy color. And what the fuck happened to my son's eye? He got a black eye. The social workers did not answer me. They were ignoring me and scribbling on their paper like they didn't hear me. So I looked up at the foster mother who was holding my child, and I said, is it bad back there? And she said, it's pretty bad. And that's when I started crying. And then they took the foster mother. Somebody came into the office because I was upset and they heard me crying, and the whole office was quiet. Everybody was fucking quiet. It was all the way weird. Like you could hear a pin drop, like everybody was listening. And then somebody damn near fell into the office because somebody opened up the door and the bitch almost fell on her face from listening at the door. So everybody knew about the fucking rape. So that's another thing I noticed that was weird. Why is this bitch at the door listening? The bitch almost fell flat on her face. She stumbled and she caught herself, and then she said, excuse me, and then she left. And then another social worker came and said, excuse me, miss, we got to take you upstairs to the clinic. And it wasn't until later on that I realized that they wrote down, everything is fine with Angelo. That's the report that this stupid bitch, Cara D, is sprinkling all over the goddamn internet. What the fucking child services wrote, their version. They did not take my son to the hospital after the fucking rape. So you can write whatever the fuck you want, you dumb bitch. You was not there, and you do not know about my fucking life. And I curse you in the name of the divine mother feminine. That same energy that you bringing to me with the coffin, bitch, I'm reversing it onto your life. I'm reversing all that negative energy back onto you. You sitting there acting like this nigga's an angel. Are you fucking dumb, you stupid bitch? He's working with children. He's probably running. He said, oh, I got away with that shit. I wouldn't be surprised if they set this nigga up with child services so they could cover their ass and make it seem like nothing happened. It's all a fucking setup. Read the fucking comment in my last video. I go in and I go in deep. I was being followed. My phone was being tapped. These niggas was scared to death. I went to the Daily News, downtown Brooklyn, to tell them about the rape of my child. And I told them my story. I was very upset. Every time I talk about it, this is back when I was a nervous wreck. I couldn't even talk about it without breaking down in the beginning. I'm better now. I'm over it. It took years to get where I am now. But I'm going to tell you something, sweetheart. The bitch disappeared back into the back of the office. She said, I have a telephone call. I'll be right back. I hear the phone ring. I said, no problem. She went into the back, and then she came with a weird look on her face. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't take your stories. She gave me some bullshit reason. And that's when I knew that I was being followed. I was being tapped, and these child services was watching me very closely. I tried to take this shit to the news. And you gonna sit there with this nigga like he's some saint just because he worked for child services. Oh, I got more dirt to tell you. And yes, this could be for Tommy's interview. I don't give a fuck. Because before you reach Tommy's page, bitch, I'm going to drag your ass. And I'm going to tell the world that you are a pedophile just like your uncle that raped you. I said what I said. Yes, I have a brother. I have a brother who died from HIV-related causes. Now, let me explain this shit. This shit gets all the way funky. Now, his brother, I'm talking about Anthony Turner. That motherfucker was in a psychiatric ward. That's the part you don't know. And they had him all doped up and all on medication. And I could name you the motherfucking hospitals. The hospital. Well, I only remember one of the hospitals. One of the hospitals he was in there for a long time. He was in there for like 3 months. It was a psychiatric ward, and they was evaluating that motherfucker because he threatened to shoot up the school like Virginia Tech. He threatened, yep, that was all in the court records too. So if this shit ever reaches the news or somebody's child gets raped and they start digging up old shit, they gonna see, oh my God, the mother was right. It is in the court records. He threatened to shoot up the school like Virginia Tech, and that's when they called up the principal and they evaluated that motherfucker and found out he was crazy. Bipolar, depressive disorder. Get your story straight, sweetheart. I lived this life. You didn't. You're not an expert on my life, bitch. You don't even know me. You wasn't there back then. So how the fuck can you speak on something you don't know? Anyway, the lady took me into a room and she sat me down. She said, do you want to see your child? I said, I don't want to see that motherfucker. I was pissed at that man. I wanted to kill that nigga. And they knew it. They said, come with us. We need to speak to you. I said, okay. I gave them the whole rundown. And back then I was a mess, honey. I mean, I was crying, snot coming out my nose, boogers coming out my nose. And I told my story. And I said his brother, who worked for child services, my older brother worked for child services. He had HIV for years. I found all this shit out later. Now check this out. I told her that my older brother was raped at the age of 7 by a kid up the street called Cleon. Cleon was 17. They was running trains on my brother, making him suck dick, making him do all type of crazy shit at the age of 7. He was all the way turned the fuck out. But I did not know all of this. My brother confessed this later on, years later. Had I known that had happened to him, I would have never trusted my older child with him. Now check this out. I was dancing for 4 years. And my brother used to come by sometime early in the morning, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and I'd be all the way tired. I would come back from the strip club around 5 or 6 in the morning. This nigga rolls up around 8 or 9 in the morning. Oh, hi, hey, what you there? I'll take him for ice cream. I'll take him off your hands. I know you're tired. And I trusted him. He was my brother. I didn't think nothing wrong with giving my brother, because at the time, I did not know all of this information, that he had gotten raped and that he was a goddamn pedophile. I didn't know that. I found that shit out later on. So I gave my son to him, right? This happened a couple of times. Then the last time, this happened like maybe 2 or 3 times. Then on that second or third time that he brought him back from wherever he was taking him, he claimed it was the movies, ice cream, whatever. I thought it was great. At the time, Anthony was 3 or 4 years old, still wearing Pampers. The motherfucker he was slow. He was a dumb kid. He did not speak early. He had a speech problem. We gave him all type of speech services and shit because he was a slow speaker. Anyway, I pulled down his fucking pamper and I saw it. I almost screamed. I almost screamed. It looked, I can't even describe the area. I don't want to describe it because I might start crying. The area was red and it looked like you could put a quarter in his asshole. It looked like you could drop a quarter in his fucking asshole. And and it was really bright red because my son's light skin. So I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm going to tell you what happened after that. I went to the bed and I got under the covers. I couldn't even take care of my son for the rest of the day. I didn't take care of him. Thank God he was around 3 or 4 years old. I gave him his food. He watched TV. He already knew how to use the bathroom on his own. So I wasn't worried about that. But sometimes he used to go on himself. But I was so shell-shocked at what I saw. All I could do was just lay on the couch and watch TV all day. I did not get up off that couch. And I will never forget the feeling I felt. It was almost like my brother was telling me, I'm sick. This is who I am. And after that, I never seen the nigga. I did not see him after that. 4 years. He stopped talking to me. It's almost like he's saying, okay, this is who I am. And I shoved that shit in the back of my mind all these years. And that's the only reason why, out of guilt, that I don't hate my son for what he did to Angelo. That's the only fucking thing that saves his ass, is because I feel guilty to this day that I put him in the hands of a pedophile, and I know he raped him. I know he did. I didn't call the police. I told you what I did. I went on the couch and I just stared at the TV all day. And that is the honest to God truth. The police was the last thing on my mind. That was my brother. So I didn't even know I had nobody to turn to. I didn't know when some shit like that happens to you, you don't know what to think. You just blank the fuck out. So now, years later, fast forward, I get my shit together. Section 8 calls me. And by then I already had met his father. It was 6 months after I got my Section 8 that I met Angelo's father. We fell in love. Everything was going Gucci. And then, my father, my sperm donor, my oldest son went from staying with my foster mother. She didn't want him no more for some odd reason. I guess he was giving her a hard time. Who knows what was going on in that house? Okay? But he went from that house to being with my peoples. So my father was getting a check for him. That's the only reason why my father took him in, because he was getting a check for that crazy motherfucker. He was getting a check for him. So I agreed he took that money because he wasn't working nowhere. My father wasn't working. He was living off of his wife. So I guess he had to shut her ass up and look like he was contributing to the household. So he took my son on because my son was getting a Social Security check. So my father took him in. And my father's wife, she took care of him mostly. And she used to always tell me he was a big, big problem. She was always running up to the school. She was complaining that the whole house smelled like piss because he was always pissing in the bed. He was always pissing in the fucking bed. And she was like, once I got my Section 8, she shoved him onto me. She's like, here, you got to take your son. And I was like, damn. And at the time, I didn't really know my rights. Because now looking back at what his father had told me, my baby father, Angelo's father, he didn't really want to take him in because he knew what the hell he knew the hell that my father's wife was going through over there with the pissing in the bed and breaking stuff and all that type of shit. So, and she said that he bent spoons. That's some demonic shit. This nigga was bending spoons. Like, that's demonic. You could bend a metal spoon? That's weird. Anyway. So I took the nigga in. I said, you know what? That's my son. You know, I didn't really raise him all them years. I owe it to him to take him in. I took the nigga in. It was hell on earth. I'm talking about, you think the devil moved into your fucking house. Nothing. I mean, nothing could please this motherfucker. And I'm going to tell you something too. I know he got a demon in him because I don't know if you've seen that movie, Damon. See, some of you motherfuckers don't know. You're not old enough to remember. There's this movie called Damon. Let me tell you something. And I told several people this. I have witnesses to corroborate my story. Between breaking shit, pissing all over the bathroom, like it's Grand Central Station, pissing in the bed, fights at school, stealing from my purse, jealous of Angelo. I didn't know what to do with him. I was miserable. He made me miserable. He hated me, and I know he hated me, and I hated him because he was making me hate him. I did everything for this nigga. Whatever he wanted, I bought it. Clothes, PlayStation, kissing his ass, and as a last resort, ass whipping. Ass whipping, because nothing else worked. The talking didn't work. Kissing his ass didn't work. Finally, I started beating his ass. I was tired of kissing his ass and talking till I'm blue in the face, and this nigga still was making my life a living hell. I started giving him spankings. The old school style spankings. With the belt, take your pants off, and whip your ass. So he's sitting there calling that abuse. I got hit. I got way worse when my mother would make me take a switch from the backyard and whip my ass. So that's nothing. These little motherfuckers from today think they know what an ass whooping is. That ain't no ass whooping, sweetheart. For all the shit and all the hell you put me through, I should have whipped your ass the way I got whipped when I was a kid. But anyway, regardless, he crying to Tommy Sotomayor in the world. I was abused. Bitch, talk about the rape. Talk about the rape, bitch. Why don't you talk about that? Oh, you don't want to talk about that. Oh, because, and guys, check this shit out. Child Services did not take my son to the hospital. So I am going off the testimony of the foster mothers. When they told me that about the anal area was gaped open, I said, what do you mean it's in bad condition? And she said it's gaped. G-A-P-E. Look it up. And she said it was very bruised and the skin was broken. That wasn't no goddamn diaper rash. Okay? He raped him. And Angelo he talked about nightmares up until he was, and I got a witness. I got a witness who witnessed my son tearing at the walls, waking up, clawing at the walls like somebody's trying to kill him. My ex-boyfriend, Terry Sicker, I said what I said. He when he was with me, he spent the night, and Angelo was in the next room, and he woke up screaming, and I said he's having another nightmare. And this is when Angelo was 9 years old. This is when he was 9 years old. He had nightmares, and the foster mother told me the same story. After the rape happened, I'm talking about that second foster mother. She said, oh, he has nightmares. I was like, okay. I didn't think there was nothing. I kind of knew it had to do with that, but I just thought maybe he was whimpering in his sleep. No. He ran through the house. The nightmares that he had when he was older when I got him. 7 years old, 8 years old, 6 years old, 9 years old. He wakes up in the middle of the night and tears at the walls. Angelo had big holes in his walls from tearing at the walls and putting holes in the walls. And he would run through the house screaming. Nightmares. And this nigga wanted to plop his fucking ass. I will drag this nigga to hell. If you come for me and mine, bitch, my son is never gonna leave my side. Because I know what you want, bitch. You want for Child Services to come and take Angelo so you can rape him again, right? And maybe even put him with you. Maybe even that's your plan, right, motherfucker? I'm gonna tell you something, sweetheart. Before that happens, I will pay somebody to kill your ass. I said what I said on YouTube, and I don't give a fuck who hears it. You going down in history, baby. You want to play fight fire with fire? We going to have fight fire with fire. We going to fight fire with fire. You want to come for me and mines after what you did? And who knows how many fucking kids he out there raping? And y'all sitting there all stupid. Oh, poor Anthony. What? Because he got a spanking? He was bad as hell. What about Angelo and the rape he endured? Oh, y'all don't want to talk about that, right? Y'all don't want to talk about the rape. You want to talk about a spanking. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Cara D, fuck you. You stupid bitch. I hope you fucking drown in your own piss. I can't stand none of these dumb motherfuckers. They protect pedophiles. I'm up here telling you my child got raped, and you say they took my, oh, poor Anthony. Y'all don't never say nothing about Angelo. Save Angelo. Take Angelo out of my home. He got his own room. My son is sleeping right now. He got a belly full of food. He's very well taken care of. And you want to take him out of my house just because, oh, I heard noises in the background. What's that noise? And that's why I put the camera on Angelo. And everybody that saw me put the camera on Angelo saw Angelo smiling. He had a big smile on his face. That's why I put the camera on him, to show you there is no abuse. I was playing ball with my son on camera to show you dumb motherfuckers there's no abuse going on over here. I want to talk about the rape. That's what the fuck I want. I don't want to talk about no ass whipping. Let's talk about the fucking rape, bitch. Talk about that. Talk about the foster mothers. And I can give you their names. But I don't want to, because then you'll try to give them a paycheck. I already know how dirty you motherfuckers are. You'll try, if you want my records, bitch, the real records, you gonna have to contact my lawyer in New York. She got all that shit on file, even though the case closed in 2019. Oh, she can have my subscribers. If she take my subscribers, they were never my subscribers. Because I'm going to tell you something. This YouTube shit is all the way messy. And this is my last video. I know I said that about all my videos, but this really is my last video, because there's no need for me to talk after this. I said if I don't get my story out, this motherfucker will be sitting up there like his shit don't stink. Oh, I work for child services. I did something with my life. Yeah, you raping kids. And you laughing about it. You're probably saying, damn, I raped my brother and I got away with that shit. Crystal Swirlz, he said, you're lying. Of course he did. Of course. You think he gonna tell the truth? Do you think he gonna tell the truth? Do you know these motherfuckers are so evil and corrupted, they tried to put that son of a bitch back in my house? I had to fight to keep this bitch out my house. Every time there was an agency visit, I did not go. There was a court date, I did not show. I said, I don't want the motherfucker. He's trash. He's a rapist. You ain't putting that piece of shit back in my house. You ain't putting that piece of shit back in my house. They already ran me off. But I'm telling my side of the story, because he gonna go up on Tommy Sotomayor, which is a big fucking platform, and talk shit about me. And I'm getting my side out. And I hope Tommy puts this in his fucking interview too. I hope they fire your punk ass motherfucker the same way they fired my brother who raped you. I hope they fire you. You should not be working around children based off your background. You raped a 2-year-old. He was 2 months shy of being 15. He knew exactly what the fuck he was doing. And he was already sexually active with boys, because me and his fucking stepfather, Angelo's father, he would come in the house smelling like pure ass. And he was hanging out with this kid up the street called Frankie. So we already knew this motherfucker was nasty, because he smelled like anal sex when he was coming in my house. Coming in the house smelling like the devil's asshole. And when I found out he molested Angelo, I beat the brakes off that bitch. Yes, and I'll do it. I wish I could do it again. I wish I could do it again. Child service, that bitch. Any social worker I talked to about this story said I would have did the same thing. I might. One social worker said she might have even killed him. She said, I don't know how you did it. Y'all motherfuckers are all the way stupid. Y'all are focusing on me beating his ass. Why you don't talk about all the times I used to kiss his ass, buying him stuff, talking till I was blue in the face, running up to the school every 2 weeks with my head down in shame. Like, damn, why this motherfucker just can't go to school and come home? What is the big deal? I'm buying him everything he wants. We was living lovely. My baby father drove the train. My baby father would spend money on him, kissing his ass. We would walk by bums in the street saying, see, you don't want to end up like that. You better start acting right. We did everything for this motherfucker. He gonna sit there act like he was Mr. Abused. That nigga was eating Chinese food every fucking night. Did I beat his ass sometimes? Yes, I did. Yes, the fuck I did. When he deserved it. I didn't beat him just to be beating him. But when I beat him, I gave it to him nice and good so he wouldn't do it again. And did he still act up at school? Did he still steal out of my purse? Did he still break things around the house? Did he still piss all over the goddamn toilet seat on purpose? He didn't piss around the toilet seat. He pissed on the floor. He pissed by. It was done purposely. It was done on purpose. He's a demon. And you trying to come for me? If I was you, I would shut the fuck up. I would shut the fuck up. I got no shame saying I beat your ass. I wish I could do it again. Does that mean I'm beating Angelo's ass? Absolutely not. I never lay a hand on Angelo. And if that makes you mad, bitch, so be it. Because guess what? You and Angelo are two different people. Angelo got special needs. Angelo can't talk, probably because of the rape he endured at your hands. A lot of people say that. They say, damn, maybe that's part of the reason why Angelo's traumatized and he can't talk. Because his brother raped him. It was so painful. And I doubt he used Vaseline. Because the skin was all torn up. According to the foster mother, she said she had to keep putting Vaseline and working on the area. Working on it? That means he was all the way fucked up in his asshole. You ripped up his skin. You piece of shit. I hope you burn in hell. And I'm going to tell you something. I hope whoever fucking hears this interview goes to child services and fires this motherfucker because he's probably raping other children. And I'm going to tell you something, sweetheart. If you do not act on it and this shit gets all the way funky and some kid ends up talking, guess what, bitch? You were warned. You were warned. I'm telling all my business. I don't give a fuck. I got nothing to lose at this point. They already called child services on me. I got nothing to lose. He raped his brother. And it kills me to know how it went down. Where the fuck was the foster mother? Read the interview in my last interview. Read the interview in my last video. I wrote a long fucking thing, like 10 paragraphs long, detailing this shit. I did everything I could to stop the rape. When I got to the police station, I told the cops he's molesting him. All they was looking at was the webs. Because remember, I beat that motherfucker with an extension cord. He had webs all over his body. And he was sitting in the back telling the cops his story. And they was all, babying that motherfucker. Babying him. Just because he had extension cord marks on his body. And I'm up here, I put it in the witness statement. Any cop, I said, Miss, can I talk to you? I was grabbing people's arms, crying. Miss, have a seat, have a seat. It was a busy day. Everybody wanted to go home. Now looking back, it's like it went in slow motion, like it's a nightmare in slow motion. And I will never forget when I saw Angelo run towards the door. Miss, can you sit down? Go. Is that your child? Can you handle your child, miss? They arrested me at the station. They put the cuffs on me at the station and took Angelo from me and put him with that piece of shit. They put him with that piece of shit. I lost my fucking mind and I'm still losing my mind. That's why I can't sleep. That's why I do 9-hour lives. I had to get therapy, 7 months of therapy because of this shit. So you want to put me on the fucking burner, bitch? I'm going to put you on a burner. I'm going to put you on a burner. Talk about the rape, bitch. Talk about the fucking rape. Talk about that. Why are you working with children? Why do you want to work with children? I think I know the answer to that one. And you know what? Everything happens for a reason. Because because I called a trusted friend of mine, and I don't want to say this person's name, but I called a trusted friend of mine, and I said, I told everybody, Crystal Swirlz is not going to go live no more. I'm not going to do no more lives, but I said, I got to do this last live, because y'all not going to hear, there's no reason. The last live I did was to warn black women to save their ass. This time I'm saving Angelo's ass. This motherfucker really thinks he gonna get his hands on Angelo. I will burn you alive. I will put gasoline on you and strike the match before you take this baby from me. He is trying to become the president of child services. He is currently a social worker for child services. You heard right. So instead of sitting on your fucking ass and saying, oh my God, and all this crazy funky ass shit, why don't you contact child services and give them this interview? I dare you. I dare you. And I already told you about Kevin D, right? We all know who Kevin D is. And we all know D stands for dick. She's trying to tell you on the low though that she's a tranny. Call child services, bitch. They've already been called on me. Nothing is bad. I told the social worker. I showed her that the fucking thing where Cara D was threatening to call child services on me. They have already been called. They're already watching you make all these funky ass videos with coffins and acting all stupid. They already know. They said this bitch had a lawsuit from 2007 or 8 all the way to 2019. The only reason why they closed the lawsuit was because they could not find me. I have been gone from New York since 2018. They could not find me, so they closed the case, bitch. Get your facts straight. But I had I had a lawsuit. It was a real lawsuit. I sued. Did I get any money from the lawsuit? No. But I'm going to tell you a little secret, sweetheart. This ain't over. This ain't over. What happened to Angelo? Somebody got to answer for that. And I believe in my heart of hearts that his father's watching from heavens. His father is watching from the heavens. And his grandmother, who left me all this money, she watching too. They see what's going on. And I can guarantee you the divine mother feminist sees what's going on too. And she knows that Angelo is very well taken care of. And this is the best place on earth for Angelo to be. And I'm going to tell you something, sweetheart. That same energy that you put on me with that coffin, I'm reversing it onto you. Be careful what you speak into the universe because it can reflect back on you. So you could do what you want to do. What I want all of you to do is request those records. Maybe you know a lawyer. Maybe you know somebody that could be my lawyer and request those records from my old lawyer. And dig all that old shit up. And dig it on up because it's all the way funky and it's all the way nasty. And details of the rape is all up in that report. Dig that up, bitch. Dig that up. Dig it up. You want to dig, right, bitch? Go ahead and dig it up. Dig it all up. Dig it all up. Talk to the foster mothers who handled his anal area after the rape and see what they tell you. See what they tell you. The first foster mother, when it got too hot, in the kitchen, she didn't want him no more. I guess because of the nightmares and she couldn't handle a rape victim. And not only that, child services was getting on her nerves, constantly harassing her. Oh, don't talk too much. When you do the agency visits, don't say nothing to the mother. But it was too late. I already got the information when I first went to the agency and I saw the black eye. And I asked in a whisper, because I know the social workers, everybody was quiet. You could hear a pin drop. And I said, how is he back there? And she whispered to me, it's pretty bad. That's what she said. That was the first foster mother that said that. And then the second foster mother backed up her testimony and she said, the area is healing. I'm putting Vaseline on it. When I asked the first foster mother's daughter, okay, because the foster mother, there was either the foster mother or her daughter who had to work. And I asked one of them, when you first got my son, how was it? And she said it was gaped open. It looked like a gape, G-A-P-E. That was how she described it to me. And I shook my head, and all I could remember was back in, was it 97 when I was dancing? Back in 97 or 98 when this fucking pedophile brother of mine came to pick up Anthony, and he had the same story, that it was gaped open. He might have been older than 3 or 4. I don't know. Well, how old was he? Because he was born in 92. Yeah, he might have been 5 or 6. I don't know. Might have been 5 or 6 years old. It was so fucking long ago. Because 92 to 97 is 5. So I don't think he was 4. I think he was 5 years old when that happened. But I still used to put Pampers on him because the motherfucker would shit on himself sometime. He wasn't all the way potty trained. So he might have been 5 years old. But anyway, you get the picture. You get the fucking picture. I don't got nothing else to say about the shit. If you got any questions in the comment section, you're welcome to go in the comment section and ask me whatever the fuck you want to ask me, because we talking about the rape. That's what we talking about. We talking about that fucking rape. Why is he working with children? Why? How the fuck did this nigga, and I don't know, you know, this is all the way funky, because when you get a situation like this and child services think that they heard the end of me, this is not over. Justice has not been served for that rape of Angelo. Somebody gonna go to jail over that shit. They gonna dig up all his, and they say, oh, it happened when he was a juvenile. His records are closed. Well, open them back up, bitch. Open them the fuck back up. You want to go on a national platform and talk shit? Open them records back up. Somebody who knows somebody in foster care or who got kids in there right now in the New York City area, they saying, oh no, we got to report this motherfucker. We going to put pressure on child services to dig in his background. Why is somebody like that working for child services? Because they fired my brother. They fired him. When that lady pulled me into the room and said, we want to talk to you, when I went to the psychiatric hospital, I told that bitch every fucking thing. I said, you people are really funny. He's working for you. He's working for child services, my brother. And I described his background, how he got raped when he was 7 years old, and how he's a pedophile. I told everything. And I described the condition of my son's anal area when he was a child. This is around the time Anthony was 15 years old. And the lady just shook her head. I found out later on they fired his ass. They fired him. So if you want to tell the tea, tell all the tea, bitch. Tell all the tea. Why you want to work around children? You trying to make it seem like, oh, I want to work around them because I want to. Look at what he said. Look at that little statement he left on Cara D's thing. He put, I'm still trying to find myself. Yeah, bitch, you're gay. You're gay. That's what he means. Well, I'm trying to find myself. I'm trying to find who I am. Why did he say that? He's not that smart. Why did he say that? Because he's struggling with his sexuality. She coming at me hard like she a nigga. That's because she is a nigga. She's a whole nigga. And she all the way mad that I exposed that. She's mad as fuck right now that I exposed that the transsexuals are taking over our fucking movement. And it's so obvious. Fish, the Riddler, meaning that they throw you hints of who they are. The Giver, meaning that transsexual is not the girly type. That transsexual is a flip-flopper. That transsexual, at the request of the man, will fuck the man in his ass. The Giver. They tell you who they are. They tell you. I'm not giving no more energy. Well, shit, this is out of spite. This is out of spite because of that fucking picture. She was splashing my court records all over the goddamn place, telling all my business. And this court records, she said my criminal background. She said I was a crackhead. Bitch, where? Where's my drug history? I've never been on drugs. I've never taken drugs. Well, I tried to smoke weed one time when I was like 17. That didn't work out too good because I was choking to death, and all my friends were laughing at me. They thought it was funny. But besides that, I haven't touched any drugs. So, bitch, where's this drug history you're talking about? Prove it. Show us. Please show us. Making up lies. That's all she does is fucking lie. She said that Lord Tyvek used the N-word. She said that so she could get all the black men to try to get mad at him and beat him up. He never said the N-word, you fucking bitch. What he said was, Pookie Bears. You Pookie Bears. That's what he calls black men. He never said the N-word, and you could ask any fucking body, you lying bitch. You could ask anybody about Lord Tyvek. He never said the N-word, so you're lying. Everybody's go in the comment section of some of those old videos, and they be like, oh my God, I be cracking up when Lord Tyvek says Pookie Bears. He never used the N-word. He uses the word Pookie Bears. So what the fuck is she talking about? And I don't know why you keep saying that woman. It's not a woman. It's a man. That's why that so-called woman never shows its face. I'm going to call it a it because it's not a man. It's not a woman. It's a it. Never shows its face. It puts up a picture of some cute little chocolate girl that doesn't know that her picture has been hijacked. She never is going to go live. Tell that bitch to go live and show her face. I bet you she won't. I bet you it won't. I challenge you. Do a KD challenge. Tell it to go live and show its face. It's not going to do it. It's going to put up its funky little picture and spew out all these hateful words about me. Talking about I'm clout chasing. No, bitch, you're clout chasing. I don't know why everybody at the same time don't go over and flag that hoe. Flag her. Because she coming after Cerebral. She going to come after all of them. Why y'all don't take her down at this point, I don't know. Maybe I don't want no platforms. Because she going to come after Miss Archduchess. She going to come after all of them. All of them. And I know Cerebral and Miss Archduchess and CK want you to flag her. I don't know why the fuck y'all don't do it. Get rid of the bitch. She's making all of y'all miserable. Y'all can't have fun no more. Y'all cannot have fun no more. Everybody's scared. Don't be scared. Go over there and flag her. Take her down. Flag until you can't flag no more. Everybody just go flag. But what happens? Only 1 or 2 people go over there and flag, and everybody else just sits on their ass. I'm done with you ladies. I'm going to tell you something. I just did this live to tell my side of the story and talk about the rape, because this son of a bitch ain't mentioning the rape. My mother lied. She lied about the rape. Really? Tell that to those 2 foster mothers. Tell that to the 2 foster mothers who took my son and described his anal area. Tell that about the black eye that he gave his brother. And to this day, my son is cross-eyed because the blood vessel that holds his eye in place, he broke it. And Angelo is cross-eyed to this day. Talk about that. Talk about that. There was nothing wrong with his eye until that rape happened. So they can say what they want to say. And I think everybody knows this is going to be my very last live. I don't need to speak after this. I got my story out. If there's any fucking questions y'all want to ask in the comment section, please feel free to ask them. She gonna come after each one of y'all. And y'all not gonna take, maybe you don't respect me, because I've been a little bit messy telling my business on YouTube with the milkman and all my business. Maybe you respect Cerebral more than me. But if that's the case, that's fine with me. Flag. Do what you need to do. I don't care who you respect or who you don't respect. But just get the bitch off of our space, because she's fucking aggravating. She's fucking coming after everybody. She hates everybody. It's a man. It's not a woman. It's a man. And it's never going to show its face. And Leah and Lolo are never going to show their face. All they're going to do is put up a funky little picture and talk shit. I don't care about that interview. This is my interview. How about that? This is my interview. I want to know more about this force. Why the two foster mothers had the same story? Why did they have the first foster mother said that Angelo's anal area was gaped wide open, and it was bruised. I said, "Can you?" And I was crying. She was like, "It's a little bit bruised. The skin is broken. It's hard for me to wipe him because he cries when I try to wipe him." That's what the first foster mother said. The second foster mother told me by the time the second foster mother got him, the first foster mother, okay, he had three foster mothers. The first foster mother's name was Deborah Murray. That's where the rape happened, in her home. I don't know what this bitch was doing while my son was getting raped. I don't know. All I can tell you is this. His school had problems with him. I'm talking about Angelo's school. Because the school said, "Miss, we have a hard time with your son." This was when he was in elementary school. They said, he has toileting problems and we can't get him to go to the bathroom. He's terrified of the bathroom. So I believe that the rape happened in the bathroom. I believe that the rape happened in the bathroom. My parenting skills suck, but Angelo's in bed sleeping. Notice, I waited till Angelo was in bed before I did a live, because I know I know some haters in the comment section will come for me talking about, why you not watching your son? He's sleeping. He got school in the morning and it's late at night. And I decided to do the live late at night. Yeah, she probably wasn't home. Who knows if he said, "I'll watch him. You can go to the store. I'll take care of him. I'm 15 now. You can watch him." Well, he was 14 and a half. He was 2 months away from being 15. The rape happened September the 5th, and he was about to turn 15 on December the 1st. So he was 2 months shy of his 15th birthday. Who knows if the bitch went to the store and he said, "I'll watch him," and he raped him. And who knows how long the rape happened? Who knows how long Angelo suffered? Who knows how long Angelo suffered? Because he punched him in the eye. He beat him. Angelo had a black eye. He had such a bad black eye that when I went to see him 4 days after the rape happened, he still had a black eye. It was starting to fade a little bit, but it was it probably was worse than that, because the inside of his eye was like a faded burgundy color. And to this day, Angelo is cross-sided. He made him cross-sided. Why don't we talk about that? Trash. Don't worry, motherfucker. Your karma's coming. Somebody's going to hear this interview. Somebody is, because lots of black women listen to Crystal Swirlz. Some of them are in law enforcement. I got sisters that know people in law enforcement. Somebody going to hear this shit. And somebody's going to say, "This shit is too messy." No. He's working with children right now. No, we need to investigate him. If they don't arrest the son of a bitch, at least investigate. Look up his background. That's the least they could do. Dig up them old juvenile records and open them at my request. Dig them up. Say, no. We may have a possible pedophile on our hand. We have to dig up. So just because of this interview, just because of this live I'm doing right now, they got a right to dig up those old records. They got a right to dig up those old records and open up his case for when he was a juvenile. And then they're going to have to contact my old lawyer too. I'm not going to say her name, but my old lawyer, whoever wants to contact me about my old lawyer, we can open up the case too and dig up those old records. Not a problem, sweetheart. You want to get funky, you should have shut the fuck up. You want to go do an interview with Tommy Sotomayor. You wasn't thinking about your job, was you, stupid ass? You should have shut the fuck up and took a step down and left me alone. Now you want to come for me and mines? Acting like you a concerned brother. No, you want to rape him all over again, you son of a bitch. And before that happens, I swear, I'll make a deal with the devil and take you out of here. I will sell my soul before I fucking let you take Angelo out of here. I will sell my fucking soul, bitch. But I don't got to do that. I'm working with the divine mother feminine. I don't got to sell my soul to the devil, because you are the devil. You are the devil. And I don't want to be in hell when you go there. When you gonna go to hell with gasoline drawers on for what you did to your brother. You gonna go to hell with gasoline drawers on, and you gonna join your uncle. You gonna join your uncle, bitch. And the only reason why I'm letting you breathe is because your uncle raped you. That's the only reason why I feel a little bit guilty. Because I know what happened to you. But come for me and mine, and you're gonna see how fast that fucking forgiveness goes away. Come for me and mine, and I'm gonna go to child services themselves, and I'm gonna start a fucking petition on your ass to get you taken out of there so you won't work around children. Because you're probably still doing it. You're probably still raping kids. Because you said, oh, I raped my brother. Everybody's surrounding me, babying me. Oh, poor, that's the same thing the cops said. The stupid motherfuckers babying him. I said, hello? What part of molestation did you not hear? Because the rape didn't happen at that time. Angelo was only hours away from the rape. The rape happened September the 5th. He was about to get raped that same night. That same night he got raped. And nobody listened to me. And they didn't even take him to the hospital. That's why I sued them. They didn't even take him to the hospital. That's why I sued them. You didn't take a 2-year-old. He could have hemorrhaged to death. He could have bled internally. So you want to get all the way funky, you dumb bitch? You should have shut the fuck up and saved your job. Because now you got people coming for your ass wondering why you working with children. Why are you working with children? You making a big deal about an ass whipping, a few ass whippings that I gave you? That you deserved. If that's the case, everybody in the chat that ever gave their kid an ass whipping with a belt, they should get arrested too. All the ladies that ever gave their kid an ass whipping, I'm talking about a bad, I ain't talking about no regular kid. I'm talking about a bad ass kid. You talk to you blue in the face. You kiss his ass. You running up to the goddamn schools every 2 weeks, embarrassed. He breaking shit. He stealing from you. He coming in the house smelling like booty because he got fucked by some kid up the block. And I told that nigga, check this out. My little brother, right? My little brother and my son are the same age. They went to the same fucking school. Tell me why I told my brother, his name is Ibrahim. I told Ibrahim, I said, Ibrahim, do he be over there at that brownstone where you at? Because that's the family home. And my pedophile brother, the one who works for child services, he's dead now. He died from HIV-related causes. But it wasn't just that he died from that. I hexed him. I pushed him into the grave by hexing him. True story. We ain't gonna talk about that. That's opening up another door. And we don't want to open up that door because I was working with certain spirits that I don't want to call on right now. But let's just say I was so out of my mind that I killed that nigga through witchcraft. And that's a fact. And I'm not ashamed to admit it on the video. I killed him through witchcraft. I'm talking about my brother who got raped when he was 7 years old. He raped Anthony. He raped Anthony. And Anthony raped Angelo. So yes, it is a generational curse. But we gonna break it today, ain't we? We gonna break that motherfucker today. If you want to get gully, we gonna get all the way gully. Cause that's my older child. He didn't give birth to me. I gave birth to him. I know my whole family history going all the way back, not him. We gonna get all the way funky with this shit. Why is he working for child services with a background like this? Explain the lawsuit. Why did somebody find enough evidence to take my case? If it was such bullshit and it was all a lie, why did my lawyer take my case? And it lasted from 2007 all the way to 2019. That's 13 years. 13 years. That case was sitting around collecting dust, waiting to be called on. If it was a lie, nobody would have took my case. She found enough evidence to take my case. So let's talk about that. Oh, you don't want to talk about that, huh? You should have shut the fuck up. Now your job is on the line, asshole. The worst has been done to me. Child services was called already. I showed the fucking child services lady the thing about them bragging about calling child services on me. The videos. I showed them. Thanks, Cara D, you stupid bitch. I showed child services the video where you was bragging about child services and calling them on me. And I showed her my bank account. And I told her I made the mistake of telling her I got money. I told her every fucking thing about YouTube. Why you think they not over here bothering me? The gig is up. Your turn, Anthony. Your turn. Oh, this ain't over. This is not over. That rape is gonna go answered for. I believe in God. I believe that this child did not get raped in vain. And I believe you raped something that was innocent and pure from God. And I'm gonna tell you something, sweetheart. Even though you raped your brother and you think you got away with it, bitch, you didn't. This is not over. This might even make it to the news. Somebody might take this story to the news and say, it looks like we might have a situation on our hands. And before a child pops up raped, I think we need to get rid of this guy before he does any more, because he got access to children. You wanted to be around children because you got away with the rape of your brother, and that shit got to your fucking head, and now you really big-headed. And now Tommy Sotomayor's kissing your ass, and Cara D, oh, poor baby, oh, she abused you. Yeah, we know. We know. You're so abused, right? You were so abused that you held your brother down and you stuck your dick up his ass, and he was 2 years old and you viciously raped him. You so abused, right, bitch? Okay, we finna see now. We finna see right now. Good luck on your job, sweetheart, because after this shit breaks out, you might not have a job. Whatever the fuck you getting away with and whatever kids you over there touching, God sees everything. Trust and believe me. Trust and believe me. I'm not even worried about it. My son is very protected. My son is very protected. Child services could come any day of the week knocking on my door. Have a seat. Come in. Let's see the latest video by Cara D, shall we? Thanks, Cara D. I appreciate it. Because now they know this is not about abuse. This is about being spiteful and being malicious. Ain't nobody being abused over here, sweetheart. Why don't you talk about the rape of Angelo, since you want to talk about abuse? And I see you got some of your people over here in the chat. Fuck you, mammies, too. Anybody that's after the news broke out about the rape of Angelo and that this nigga worked for child services, why is anybody in their right fucking mind? My story has stayed the same. I'm not making up anything. My story has remained the same since 2007. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. They could interview him all he want. He raped his brother. What do you think he's gonna say? Oh, my mother's raped. He laughing at these dumb bitches. He like, damn, y'all babying him. Y'all acting like he's a hero. Oh, you did something with your life despite the abuse. What abuse? Eating Chinese food every night? I whipped your ass when you needed your ass to be whipped. And that it is what it is. And I said what I said. And I will never take it back. Do I feel bad about beating your ass? I should have beat it harder. I should have beat it harder. If I could look back, if I could look into the future and see what happened and that his father killed himself over this shit and it added to his depression, I lost my baby father over your funky ass. If I could look into the fucking future and see everything that went down, the rape of Angelo, the suicide of his father, as a result of the depression from the rape, if I could I would have whooped the skin off your ass. I said what I said. And whoever don't like it, know this. That got nothing to do with Angelo. Nothing. Angelo is not being abused. Angelo don't talk. Angelo sits there and rocks back and forth all day, staring into space, watching television, playing ball, jumping on a trampoline. Angelo's not being abused. Trash. Somebody's child out there getting raped right now. So for anybody to be in the comment section and acting like and saying anything in defense of this loser, you are garbage. And that means you a pedophile too. That means you a pedophile too. I'm done. I'm done with black women. I'm done with this movement. The trannies could take it over. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Now, I want to ask y'all, should I take this video down? But you know what? I'm not even going to take it down. Leave it up. Leave it the fuck up. Let the bitch dance. You want to make me dance? I'm going to make you dance, ho. I'm going to make you dance. I'm going to make you dance now. We want to talk about the rape. Fuck that ass whipping shit. Everybody had an ass whipping when they was growing up. Talk about the rape, ho. Talk about that. You ain't gonna talk about that part, huh? My mother was lying. Really, bitch? Was the foster mother lying when she said that Angelo's asshole was gaped open like you could put a quarter in it? Was the second foster mother lying when she said she had to keep putting Vaseline on the area because the skin was broken and the anal tissue had to heal because it was torn? Was she lying too? Trash. Piece of shit. How the fuck can you jump on a 2-year-old and rape it? You're trash. Trash. I don't know how the fuck anybody can rape a baby. I don't know how the fuck that happens. Trash. Y'all gonna sit there and act like I'm not supposed. This nigga was giving me hell. I kissed his ass. I bought him everything, even though he didn't deserve it. Why he don't talk about all the PlayStations I bought him? Every time a new video game came out, I was kissing his ass. Come on, do good in school. Every time I walk by somebody homeless, you're gonna end up like that homeless man if you don't get his. Me and his father. We be walking down the street with him. He be acting all stupid, stomping his feet like we did something to him. He's trash. You could never please this motherfucker. He was just a miserable piece of shit. Jealous of his fucking brother. I would ignore Angelo in front of him just to please him. That wasn't enough. I didn't show Angelo no love in front of him. Angelo would come running to me, wanting to play, and wrap his little arms around me. He's a little baby, 2 years old. I could not play with him in front of this motherfucker. Nothing worked. Trash. Fuck that motherfucker. Don't worry, bitch. You gonna get yours. You gonna get yours for that rape. And I'm burning candles on you right now. I'm burning candles on all y'all motherfuckers. He hated him. He still hates him. He wants nothing more than to come in here and take Angelo out of my care. I'm a social worker. Put him with me. I'm his brother. Yeah, and he gonna be raping him every day, and Angelo don't talk. And now that he knows Angelo don't talk, he really want him. He really wants him, because Angelo's 15 now. Trash. I guarantee you, motherfucker, I will sell my soul to the devil before you get your hands on this baby. You think I'm playing? Trash. Don't worry, bitch. You gonna pay for what you did. You gonna pay. You gonna pay. You gonna pay. You raped a fucking 2-year-old baby. You gonna pay. Yep, his father is evil. His father used to. That's the one that used to beat my. That's the one that used to beat me up when I was little. The one I was 14, he was 23. He got it from him. I had just turned 14 and his father was 23. But that was very common back in the days. All these older men were preying on young girls. That is not no fucking new thing. All of us had boyfriends in our 20s. All us girls that came from broken homes. Don't worry, he gonna keep Angelo in your prayers. Because his father's dead and his grandmother's dead. But I can guarantee you, they looking down on him from the heavens. He wants to take in. His fantasy is for them to come in here, even though no abuse is being done, and take Angelo and put him with him. Oh, I'm a social worker. I work for child services. Yeah, you probably fucking children too. Before you get your hands on him, I will murder you, bitch. I will murder your fucking ass. And I said it on live. I'll pay somebody to murder you. You fucking piece of shit. You should have never opened up this fucking can of worms. Because guess what? Guess what? The devil is working with you. And God is working with me. And guess who's going to win? Not you. Not you, because whatever the fuck you think you got away with and that you still doing right now, you gonna get busted. And I can't wait till the day you get busted, motherfucker. When you get busted fucking some little kid, all that shit's gonna come out and they gonna look at this interview. They gonna be bothering Tommy Sotomayor. They gonna be digging up old court records. It might even be in the fucking news. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I had a dream years ago that microphones were being shoved under my face. This was years when I was still in an apartment in Brooklyn. I swear to my own life. I had a dream that microphones were being shoved under my mouth, and I was like, I don't got no further comments. And I was being whisked away, like I was on TV or some shit. That might have been a premonition. This shit is gonna make it to the news. I guarantee you. This is child services. People who have children in foster care, and you are around them, they're gonna sue just because of your background. Just because you got this kind of background. They got all type of lawsuits on their ass now. Should have never fucked with me. You should have never fucked with me. Now, all the old dirt is being dug up. All the old dirt is coming out. This is not over. And I left Brooklyn with a defeated heart. I said, dang, this shit ain't gonna never make it to the courts. They probably paid my lawyer off. How come this shit was all the way in 2007 and every year was a countdown? Next thing you know, 13 years have passed and this shit did not hit the courts yet. And then I went to Florida. I said, fuck this shit. It's never gonna make it to the courts. I went down to Florida to start my life all over again and leave all the past behind. And the shit is still opening. This stupid bitch, Cara D, opened up a can of worms thinking she know more about my life than I do. Talking about I was running the streets, fucking different men. Bitch, when? When? I was in a house babysitting a depressed man who's on the verge of killing himself because he was always complaining, was never happy, didn't want to go to work, didn't want to take a shower. He was depressed. He suffered from depression. So I had to take care of him and my fucking son who had autism. And I had to deal with this fucking retarded ass fucking older one that was giving me hell. I went through hell. And all the hell I went through is coming. I know. I can smell it. Somebody knows a good lawyer and they gonna say, I think I can help you out. You might have a really good lawsuit on your hands. Facts. Because this son of a bitch made it to, he works for child services. And he talking about, I wanna save my younger brother. Like he gonna take him out of my home. You know, I could sue for emotional distress. You already raped him one time. You think you gonna get him again, bitch? You think, oh, I want somebody to get a lawyer for me. Why is this nigga working around children? Why is this nigga working around children? And all you black males that dropped the ball and you didn't take care of your kid, and you know you got a kid floating around in the foster care system, chances are my son is fucking him. Getting his dick sucked like that guy that just got busted, putting his dick in that little 6-year-old girl's mouth, and she left the camera on. These are the type of people that slip through the cracks. Open up them juvenile records and see what you see. Open him up. This nigga was in 2 psychiatric hospitals, and I can name one of them. Brunswick Hospital in Long Island. Get his old records. Get his old records. I got nothing to hide, baby. I've been dragged from here to Blackistan. I've been dragged for filth. They call child services on me. The worst has happened to me already. My son was already raped. Nothing more bad can happen to me. Your turn, bitch. It's your turn. You got a job. I don't have to work. You got a job, ho. And now your job is on the line for being a fucking narcissist. You are an extreme narcissist. And now you gonna pay with your job. Because not everybody gonna see it. Some people don't have a life. They got nothing better to do than to call up child services and say, oh, I'm a little bit concerned because I'm a subscriber to this girl named Crystal Swirlz, and she claims that her son was raped and he raped his older brother. And there was a lawsuit on child services. They had a lawsuit for 13 years. Child services is terrified of me. They know who I am. They know who the fuck I am in New York. The schools know who I am. Every time Angelo went to a new school, I would tell him, you're going to have problems on your hands because my son shits on himself. And if you try to clean him up and take him to the bathroom, he's not going to go in that bathroom because he is terrified of the bathroom. I got testimony from his old school that he was terrified of going to the bathroom. He most likely got raped in the bathroom. So if you want to dig up the dirt, dig it all up. Dig it all up. Dig it all up, sweetheart. Gonna go on Tommy's. You think people, you might got some dummies that fall for your bullshit. Not everybody fall for it. Because everybody want to know why the fuck you working around children. And you could ask anybody in my old building. Anybody in my old building know about the rape. I talked about it. Ask any of my old friends. Look at my Facebook page. Ask any of my old family members. And they will tell you, did she mention the rape back in 07? Oh, yeah. The story has never changed. This is nothing that new that I'm making up. Did your niece have call up my aunt right now. Call her up. Did your niece have a lawsuit? Yeah, my niece did mention something about a lawsuit. Okay. Lawsuit dragged on for 13 years. What was the lawsuit about? Oh, it was about they didn't take him to the hospital after what? After what? Why did he have to go to the hospital? Say the R word, bitch. Say it. Say it. I'll wait. You want to dig it all up? Dig it all up. Dig it all up. And let's put your ass in a frying pan. And why the fuck you want to work around children? Why are you a social worker working? Why is this nigga working around kids? He was in 2 psychiatric hospitals. I can't remember the other one, but I remember one of them. It was Brunswick Hospital in Long Island. They probably still got his old records there. I got no shame. I remember the names of the foster mothers and their addresses. Not a problem. I memorized everything from my old case. And the best people to talk about the condition of my son's anal cavity after the rape are those 2 foster mothers. And I know both of their names and I know their addresses. Not a problem. So if you want to get funky, get all the way funky. Tommy Sotomayor needs to do a interview with those foster mothers. But I doubt if they're going to take it because they getting cut a check from child services. Child services is their bread and butter. But if they're no longer working for child services as a foster mother, they might talk to you. They might talk to you. They know who I am. Trust me. If you get a rape victim with his anal cavity all busted up and he's 2 years old, you're gonna remember that kid. You're gonna remember that foster kid for the rest of your life. They remember. Not a problem. And he worked for them now. They probably hooked him up with the job and gave him references. Oh, if we put him if we give him a social worker position, it'll make in case any old dirt ever pops up, it'll make us look good. Oh, the kid is a social worker now. Oh, he's doing the right thing. Oh, that don't mean shit. I'm not impressed because your uncle was a social worker. Let's talk about your uncle that raped you, bitch. Let's talk about him. He worked for child services. And the lady put me into the room and I gave it to her good with no Vaseline. I said, this is what you're dealing with. And she looked at me and said, I think we might have a pedophile on our hands. I said, I think you might. They fired that motherfucker. They fired him. You next. You next, stupid. You thinking this shit is a game? You thinking you gonna I could rape kids and even do interviews and nobody's gonna pick up on it. Trash. I know what you want. You want, oh, that's my brother. Can I visit him? I love him. And they so stupid that they will let you visit him and you would rape Angela all over again. That's what you want to happen, right, bitch? You fucking piece of shit. I'll sell my soul to the devil before that happens. Trash. La basura. You don't want to talk about that rape. He want to talk about an ass whipping. I wish I could go back in time and beat your ass even more. That's what I really wish. know. I'm not worried about it. Let them keep making videos. Because the social worker, every time they make videos, I show the social worker. Every time a video comes out, I show the social worker. Cara D's actually helping me. She's actually helping me. She's actually helping me. Because it shows that she's the one, or one of them bitches called child services on me. Out of maliciousness. Not because of abuse. That's why they not bothering me. They scared to death of me. Child services is scared to death because they said, damn, this bitch sued the child services in New York? They fucked up one time. We not going to fuck up again. That's why they not bothering me. That's why they not bothering me, because they know they fucked up on me. They feel bad that the Angela went through that. And you think they're going to take him out of my home and put him to get raped again? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because if they remove this kid from my house, I will sue for $10 billion and win. And win. Based off of emotional distress. Because of the first lawsuit. They not stupid. Them motherfuckers are not dumb. Trust me. They scared of me. They know I want them to take him out of here so I could sue them for millions of dollars. They know. Emotional fucking distress, and I will win. I could get any attorney to take my case, and he'll take it. And then if they start digging, if they start getting all the way funky, do you really want me to get a lawyer and get all the way funky and start investigating your funky ass? You don't want that to happen, sweetheart. Because if that happens, you're going to be in trouble. And all the parents, even if you got a niece, a nephew, even if you know a neighbor that got a child in foster care, and you could say, I care about this kid, I want to sue because I'm close to that child, and you decide to put a lawsuit out because this motherfucker got access to that child because he's a social worker in Brooklyn, and you fear that he might have been in contact with this idiot, you could sue off an emotional distress. This shit could get really ugly. It could get really fucking ugly. It could get ugly. Child services touch me. They terrified of me. Because they already got the evidence of who made the call. It's not made out of abuse. So they saying, damn, we can't remove the kid because there's no abuse going on. She showed us videos where this lady was threatening child services. So there's no abuse. So that's why Angelo's still in my house, you dumb bitch. Now, back to the rape. Back to the rape. Let's talk about that. Trash. La basura. I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it. Because if he do an interview with Tommy Sotomayor, guess what he gonna do? He gonna act like, oh, we're just gonna talk about the abuse you suffered and blah, 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 blah. And at the last minute, I know Tommy gonna hit him with that. So I understand that there was a rape. And then you gonna see that nigga dance like a demon on the coals. Like a demon on the fire. You gonna see him dance. Because Tommy gonna drop that at the last minute on that motherfucker. I ain't worried about it. He the one that got to be worried. Angelo got divine protection. Trust and believe me. And he gonna use this video. Tommy gonna use this video. At the last minute, he gonna whip this video out talking about the rape. And then watch that motherfucker start stuttering all over the place. Watch him start stuttering. I didn't rape my brother. She's lying. Yeah, we know. We know. The foster mother's lying, bitch. Both foster mothers. He had 3 foster mothers and all of them the same thing. About his anal area. All of them said the same thing. So we lying. We all lying, right? Okay. Okay. They doing God's work. Cara D doing God's work. Little do you know, she bringing all the nasty shit out. Because I'm going to tell you something. Y'all might get on Cara D, but I'm going to tell you something. This might be a blessing in disguise, because who knows how many kids he's out there raping. Who knows how many kids he's out there raping? And Cara D thinks she hurting me. She might be saving a life by dragging all this shit out. Because he might lose his job over this. If he out there fucking kids thinking, I'm smart, I'm slick, I'm getting away with it. I raped my brother and I got away with it. Okay. Cara D might be saving lives. You never know. She could be saving lives by being a bitch. Thinking that she dragging me. She probably helping some kid out there that's getting molested. God works in mysterious ways, sweetheart. Works in mysterious ways. That's why I never curse my enemies. I never curse them. Because your enemy could be a blessing in disguise. This ain't over. It's not over. When I left Brooklyn, I said, damn, Angelo got raped. The lawsuit didn't go through. I got this little bit of 83,000. I'm just gonna do the best I can with this money and buy me a house and get the fuck up out of Blackistan. Started my new life and look what happened. This is biblical. This is not over. Can't you see that this shit has to be answered for? See, before in Brooklyn, they didn't take him to the hospital. They had no medical records. All they had was the testimony of the foster mothers. And both of them had the same description of his anal area and the black eye. But now, it's a whole new ball game. Now this nigga works for child services. And he got a fucked up background that involves rape in psychiatric hospitals. And he's working for child services. You know how many lawsuits they could get out of this? I'm talking about people who got nieces, a nephew, a child in foster care. They could sue the life out of, they could get hit with multiple lawsuits because of this interview. They can get hit with multiple, everybody gonna run and get a lawyer. Oh my God, I got a niece that's in Brooklyn. Oh my God, where does he live again? He lives in Brooklyn. Oh, my niece lives near him. He's probably in contact with him. I'm suing for emotional distress because my niece may be getting raped by him. People gonna come out with all type of lawsuits because child service, this nigga worked for child services with his background. They could get hit with a lot of lawsuits because of this. He's stupid. Stupid ass bitch thinks you know about my fucking life. Bitch, you don't know a goddamn thing about what happened. You sitting there talking shit like you know just because you interviewing this little child molesting ass bastard. You look all the way stupid. You don't even fucking know me. And you sitting there talking like you know me. And even if you did know me, bitch, you didn't experience what I went through. You're nobody. You're nothing. Making up lies. I'm a crackhead. I'm this, I'm that. I went to jail for beating his ass, yeah. What criminal background are you talking about, bitch? I don't have a record. So you're lying. I do not have a jail record. I don't have a felony. I don't have a misdemeanor. My record is clean. Stupid bitch. You look all the way dumb right now. All the way dumb. False accusation. I want her to keep making videos so I can keep recording it and get me a good lawyer and sue YouTube and this bitch. And fucking child services if they fuck with me. But they're not that dumb. Child services is smarter than this bitch because they leaving me the fuck alone. They leaving me alone and they watching. Child services is watching every video that this bitch makes. So now she not doing the videos on me no more. Got scared. I guess they fucking gave her a warning or something. Or she said, let me back up off this bitch before I get in trouble. You better back off, bitch. But it's too late. The damage has been done. You've already been recorded threatening to call child services on me. So we already know where the call came from. And you can go to jail for calling child services and there's no abuse going on. You can go to jail for that, you dumb bitch. So I'm not worried about a motherfucking thing. I might get me a big paycheck out of this. I might get me a big paycheck. Because I'm going to tell you something. Child services, this nigga got them dancing. And there's a lot of sneaky people out there. And everybody watching. You don't know who's watching this video. Somebody that knows somebody that works for child services could say, I'm concerned. Look into this for me. All it takes is one nosy motherfucker. One person that's nosy and that will do a little bit of homework, or maybe hire a lawyer who doesn't want any money until he wins the case. He might look into this shit and say, oh my God, this is out of my hands. This is too big for me to even deal with. Child services better hurry up and get rid of him before, because based off his background, people could sue. That their child was put at risk for being molested or raped from a person who has his kind of background. They could say I make up stories all they want. The number one thing they're going to ask is about that lawsuit. If it's such a lie, how come she had a 13-year lawsuit? How come a lawyer took her case? Why? Why did a lawyer bother investigating? So all those questions have to be answered if it's such a lie. I know the names of both foster mothers. I know the name of the foster mother where the rape happened, Deborah Murray. I know her name. And I know the name of the second foster mother who said that she's putting Vaseline and the skin is starting to heal back. I know her too. And I know her address because I used to go to her house all the time. So whatever you want to do, sweetheart, you're not hurting me. You're not hurting me. I want you to send a video because you could be saving a child's asshole right now, OZG. I'm not even mad at you. I'm not even mad at you for being a troll and making disparaging comments. All is forgiven. All is forgiven. If you take this video and send it to child services, I'll be more than happy. I will be happy. I'll be happy. I won't even be mad at you. You might be saving a life, sweetheart. Call me whatever you want, sweetheart. Save a life and send this video to child services. Do it. I want you to. Do it. I'm not mad. You can call me an evil, sick bitch. Call me whatever you want. I'm not putting none of my old videos up, Melody Coates. I'm not putting none of my old videos up. It is what it is. They want to fucking come for me. They got to come for all of me. They got to come for all of me. Why do you keep sharing so much? I got no problem sharing. They want to drag me to hell. Before they drag me to hell, they're gonna come with me. They're gonna come with me. I want to know why this nigga's working around children. I want to know why he's working with kids. After his background, he got raped. His uncle got raped, and his uncle raped. My brother raped Anthony, and Anthony raped Angelo. Go figure. Go figure. I'm giving you all my background history. I'm letting you know what the deal is. And I wonder if them foster mothers are still around. Because one of them was kind of young. She was in her 30s or her 40s. She's still around. And the other one was in her 60s, but she probably still around too. And both of them had the same story. Obviously, they talked to my lawyer. They must have talked to my lawyer. All that stuff got to be dug up on the files. My old lawyer got all that information. And not only that, I talked to the foster mothers anyway. I talked to both of them. And they both had the same story. The only foster mother that I didn't talk to was that first one. I didn't get to her, but she's on paper saying that when she tried to wipe him, he was screaming in pain. And he was squirming in discomfort. That's the only testimony I got from her, and that's on paper. But the other two was verbal confessions. Facts. It is messy. I am taking a break, Jasmine Chenault. I'm putting my story out there because it was told to me that this fool is doing an interview with Tommy Sotomayor and he want to make himself out to sit like he's such a fucking angel. And I'm letting the world know that children are at risk being around this motherfucker. He raped a 2-year-old and he was almost 15. And I had a lawsuit on it for 13 years. For 13 years, I had a lawsuit. I'm not making up nothing. I had a lawsuit for 13 years and I had a lawyer. So I really don't care. I really don't care at this point. I'm defending myself and my reputation. And I'm telling you what it is. You want to call me an abuser? I'm calling you a pedophile. Because you actually are a pedophile. Because you raped your 2-year-old brother. So if that's not a pedophile, I don't know what is. So you want to do interviews? We could get all the way funky with it. I'm not going to do no interview with Tommy. I'm going to do this live and leave it up. I'm going to, and now you're going to watch you dance about that rape. Watch you dance. Let's talk about that lawsuit for 13 years. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about both foster mothers having the same testimony about the condition of Angelo's anus. And he had a black eye and he's cross-sided to this day because you broke the blood vessel that was in charge of keeping his eye in place. And now Angelo's cross-sided. Talk about that. Trash. Talk about the nightmares all the way up until he was 9 years old. And the foster mother told me he was terrified of the bathroom. Same thing the school said. The school said Angelo's terrified of the bathroom. He don't like when you stand over him. I'm going to tell you something. You think you got away with that shit, bitch? You going to answer for this. You going to answer for this. You didn't get a rape. You didn't get away with that rape. And I'm going to tell you something. Who knows how many other kids you out there raping? You thinking that these motherfuckers are so stupid that they're going to take Angelo out of my house so you could have access to him again, right, bitch? Wrong. Child Services is terrified of me. They wouldn't dare do some dumb shit like that. Yeah, I should call up the Steve Wilkos show. I should. You don't think I go on the Steve Wilkos? I want a lie detector test on the Steve Wilkos show. I want a lie detector test. You tell Steve I said so. We're going to see who lying. Did you rape your younger brother? That's all I want to know. That's all we all want to know. Because I already confessed to beating your ass, nigga. I confessed already. I beat your ass because you deserved it. You were a bad child. You were a bad fucking child. You put me through hell. And they probably still got your school records. They probably still got your school records on file. Not a problem. I'll go to the Steve Wilkos show. You think I won't? Because you work for Child Services. Based on that alone, they're going to want you on a Steve Wilkos show. Because you're working with kids. I got nothing to lose. Nothing. Trash. Don't worry. You are going to answer for what you did. If you don't answer on earth, bitch, you're going to answer in hell. And I forgive you. I forgive you for the rape, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm not forgiving you for the shit you're doing now. Trying to start drama. And you know good and damn well you raped your brother. And you going to act like you were in there. Oh, I'm worried about my brother. Bitch, this is World War III. If you fuck with me and mines, after all you did, I will expose I will tell everybody in foster care to yank their kids up out of there, away from you. Because they're not safe. They're not safe. This nigga bragging about his job. And you fucking dumb, somebody, you got some dumb bitches that are so stupid that they like, wait, I think we should slow down a little bit. Let's not be so quick to fucking put Crystal on the cross over this shit. She did have a lawsuit. She did say both foster mothers had the same story about the condition of Angelo's anus. And y'all still come for me. But that's fine, because guess what? Justice is in God's hands. And God is going to take care. Whatever the fuck you out there doing, God going to fix your ass. He gonna take care of it. Yep, the devil. I gave birth to the devil. I sure did. And a transsexual Kevin D is using a pedophile for her agenda. Pedophiles and transsexuals stick together. I don't know. I don't know what to set to the limits. I know what happened in 2007. The rape happened on the night of September the 5th, 2007. And I will never forget that day. I might find a lawyer that's going to pick up the case and tell my old attorney I still got her number in my phone, in my contacts. Call up my old attorney and request for those records to be transferred over and open the case back up. Yep. This motherfucker went for child. They might get all the way funky and say this. They're gonna say this kid was in 2 psychiatric hospitals, doped up on medication. He was so doped up, his speech was slurred. His speech was slurred. And when I went to the psychiatric hospital, the second one, they said, "Do you want to talk to your son?" I said, "I don't want to see that motherfucker." I said it straight to her face. I cursed in that lady's face. And I shouldn't have did that because I called him a motherfucker right in front of the lady. And she said, "Miss, come with us. We want to talk to you." And I sat down and I said, "You need to talk to me, sweetheart." And I had my arms crossed and I said, "You about to get all the way messed up over what I'm about to tell you." And I told her, "A pedophile works for your organization and he's my brother." And I went all the way in with my story, my whole background, my whole family history, how my older brother got raped, how he raped Anthony, the condition of Anthony's anus when he brought him home that day back in the mid-90s, somewhere in the mid-90s. Had to be 97, I think. He was close to being 5 years old. And I described everything. And the lady fired my older brother. So y'all can sit there all y'all want to and act like you ain't hear what the fuck I said. This nigga is parking his ass. Now I hear he got a channel. Oh, you getting all the way funky, huh? You cocky now, huh, nigga? You said I raped Angelo. I could rape Angelo again and I could rape other kids. And nobody's going to stop me. And these stupid bitches eat it up. They pat me on the head going, "Oh, you got a spanking back in 2007. Stupid bitches. But nobody want to talk about a rape of a 2-year-old, right? I find that kind of weird. I find that really weird. The priorities are fucked up. Trash. This shit ain't over. Even the mammies in my own family was like, oh, I don't know about that happening. When I told them about the rape way years ago, they was acting like mammies. I still got an aunt that's acting like a fucking mammy over this nigga. Black women are disgusting. Fucking hate them sometimes. It's not over. It is not over. His father is turning in his grave like, I want justice for my son. His father's turning in his grave. He is burning with the to get justice for his son. This shit is not over. And somebody's child out there getting molested right now, probably. Who knows how many kids he molested? And he parking his ass up on the Tommy Sotomayor, talking about, I went to school, and despite the abuse, I did something with my life, and I want to break. See, notice how the nigga, look at that statement he made. Now he gonna go back and delete it. He made a statement saying, I want to break generational curses, because he knows that shit runs in our family, the rape of boys. See, he admitted it himself. Yeah, bitch, I know you want to work. I know you want to break the generational curse. It's trash. It's only 13 years ago. I still got 2 years left on your ass. I could still get you, bitch. I got 2 years left on you. It's only 2020. I got 2 years left to get your ass and dig up the dirt and put you in jail for what you did. You going to school does not save you. Okay, so what? You work for child services. Everybody knows why you work for them. You want to be around children. I'm not letting this shit go. Sitting there talking about I'm lying. Tell that to my lawyer, bitch. Tell it to my lawyer. She believed in me enough to have the case sitting there for 13 years until it hit the courts. And it finally hit the courts, but I was already gone. I had already moved to Florida by then. And they couldn't. I had a new address and a new phone number. They could not find me. So I'm done. I washed my hands of it. I said what I said. I told my version of the story, which is the only version of the story, and it is what it is. It is what it is. He might keep his job, he might not. Everything happens for a reason. I wasn't even going to go live with this shit, but I said, you know what, fuck this shit. It's time that you fucking tell your side of the story. Because this motherfucker's sitting up in there talking about, oh, my mother's not talking. My mother's not talking about the rape. I'm going to park my ass up here and drag her. Maybe I could even get Angelo so I could have sex with him every day and rape him. I got away with it one time. I could do it again. Trash. You ain't never getting your hands on my again, you piece of shit. You ain't never going to get your hands on him again. So if you had that sick little fantasy in your motherfucking head, get it out your head right now, bitch. Because I will sell my soul to the devil before you get your hands on this baby. You think you slick. You think you slick. But guess what, bitch? Somebody somewhere knows something. And somebody from my past. Because I talk to anybody I could get my hands on. And I mean social workers, teachers, strangers, people in the supermarket, whoever I could tell my story to. I used to run my mouth about this rape all the time. My story has never changed. And somebody from somewhere says, yeah, I remember Crystal lived in my building. She used to always talk about it. I guarantee you gonna have somebody contacting you. You gonna have somebody contacting you talking about, yeah, she talked about this back in 2009, back in 2008. She used to always talk about the rape of her son. You gonna see. And they're gonna look at my old thing and they're gonna see that I had to go to therapy for it. I have to go to therapy for this shit. What was it, back in 2011? I had to get therapy. They're going to dig all them old records up. They're going to dig it all up. Nasty bastard. You going to pay for what you did. Don't worry. You going to pay. You think you got away with that shit? This is not over. And this is biblical. I believe that this is divine intervention. I believe Cara D I believe Simply Leah. I believe that Lolo. They all came into my life for a reason. For a reason. To be bitches towards me and think that they hurting me. But nope. It's a bigger picture than that. Your ass is going to be exposed. And whatever the fuck you did to Angelo, you going to pay for it. This is happening for a reason. I'm not going to all this aggravation for no reason. I don't believe I am. I believe that something's going to come out of this. Something's going to come out of this. What I mean when I say Simply Leah, she was trying to drag me to like she knows my story better than me. All of them came into my life for a reason, to try to paint me to be a monster. And this nigga came out of the woodwork. Oh, I want to interview her son. Go ahead and do it. Come to find out this nigga work for child services? Oh, this shit is all the way funky. It's all the way funky. It's all the way funky. This shit is not over. It's not. The angels from heaven are watching this. They saying, don't worry, Crystal. We saw what happened. They probably was with Angelo and took away his soul when he was getting raped by his brother. They probably took his little soul out of his body because it was so traumatizing. And they said, come in, and was comforting him during the rape. That's probably why he can't talk, because his soul is not in his body. Part of his soul is not in his body. Don't worry. You gonna get it. You gonna get it. I don't see how to... And you gave him a black eye? You really hated him, huh? You gave him up. The boy is cross-sided to this day because you broke the blood vessel in his eye that keeps his eye in place. He got an eye like Biggie Smalls. It's all over the place. It doesn't stay still. You did that, motherfucker. You did that. Don't worry, bitch. You're gonna get yours. You are gonna get yours. I guarantee you. This is not over. This ain't over. I believe the Divine Mother Feminine got my back. 2020 is the year of the veil coming off. I got nothing to hide. I admit it, I used to beat your ass to try to straighten you out. It wasn't to hurt you. It was to straighten you the fuck out. You coming up all up in the house, smelling like ass, running around with this little Frankie boy up the street. And everything about this nigga spelled homosexual. A big overgrown motherfucker. He probably used to bully you and fuck you. You went to the school, the kids bullied you and took the sneakers off your feet. I'm running up to the school every 2 weeks, pushing Angelo through the snow, freezing. Got a little tiny baby in a stroller, and I gotta be going up to the school for this bullshit. Every fucking 2 weeks. And it was cold as hell outside. And I had to bundle Angelo up and run up to the school every 5 minutes for your dumb ass. Breaking shit in the house, bending forks. Who bends forks? That's demonic shit. Stealing from my purse. Trash. Don't worry, you gonna all that shit you did, and and then they're gonna talk about Angelo's father beat you too. Yeah, he gave him a spanking a few times. Because I looked at him one time, I said, I'm not gonna beat his ass, you beat his ass. I'm done with him. Because I was already tired. And he gave him a spank, but he was much nicer than me. Because he used to beat his ass with his pants on. I used to take that motherfucker's pants off and whip him on his legs. I used to beat him on the legs with a belt. 1985 style. It was not abuse. It's called discipline. That's the way I grew up, and that's the way I raised my child. Do I do that to Angelo? I don't need to do that to Angelo. Angelo is slow. Angelo does not talk. The only thing I got to do for Angelo, if he do something bad, I tap him on the hands. And I make a really mean face. Because I know he's slow and he doesn't understand nothing. So there's no need to beat Angelo. But your funky ass, I'll beat the brakes off your ass, and I'll do it again. But all the ass whipping, and what happened? You did something with your life, didn't you? You became a social worker, didn't you? You got a degree, didn't you? So the beatings must have worked, huh? I ain't that much of a bad mother, huh? Stupid. Imagine if I didn't beat you. You probably would have really been trash. I'm done. I'm done. This is my last interview. I ain't got nothing else to say about this shit. Call me what you want. Call me what you want, sweetheart. The worst ass whooping that you got was when I beat you with that extension cord. And that was the night that you raped Angelo. I beat the skin off your ass. And you ran up to the cops and they saw the extension cord marks on him and they arrested me at the station. I will not refute that. But that's because I found out he molested him. And I went crazy. I went nuts. I went nuts. So, needless to say, you gonna get yours. You think you got away with this shit, and you think it's funny? You're mocking. You're mocking black women, and you're mocking the system by working with children. You're saying, I raped my brother. Watch me get a job as a social worker and really rape kids. And nobody's gonna stop me. I'm gonna have my own channel. I'm gonna act like I'm abused. Oh, my mother's so terrible. But you don't talk about all the times I bought you PlayStation and was kissing your ass trying to get you to behave. And every time I passed by a homeless person, I was telling you better do good or you're going to end up like this. And we talked till we was blue in the face, trying to get you to straighten up. And you gave us hell on purpose, pissing all over the goddamn toilet. At one time, I made that motherfucker clean it up. Yes, the fuck I did. I pushed his face to the floor and said, smell that shit. Smell it. Does it smell good? You peeing on the floor on purpose. And I made him clean it up by hand. Yes, the fuck I did. Now, if that's abuse, I don't give a fuck. I do not care. Call it abuse. I pushed his face into that shit. Yes, the fuck I did. I said, smell it. Do it smell good? You pissing all over my floor on purpose. On purpose. Peeing in the bed on purpose. Very spiteful. Stealing out of my purse on purpose. Couldn't leave my purse around. He was still breaking shit on purpose. He was a demon child. And I'm in the worst part. This is going to be the worst part. I'm going to tell you 2 true stories. And I swear this to on Angelo's life. And I would not swear on Angelo's life because I'm very, very superstitious. This motherfucker. I will never forget it. I was coming down the hallway and Angelo was by the door and he had his fingers in the crack of the door. And I will never forget the evil look on his brother's face. It was a heavy steel door from the projects. You know, the doors in the projects are real heavy. Angelo was two years old. His tiny little fingers was in the crack of the door. He was so innocent. And I already knew. He looked at me and I looked at him and I said, oh my fucking God. No, he's not going to do this. No, he's not. That motherfucker let the door go. With a smile on his face. And the sound that came out of that baby's mouth, it haunts me to this day. And I got tears in my eyes right now. The sound that came out, it was not a human sound. He let that door go and that door closed in on Angelo's tiny little, and Angelo screamed so. I'm done. I'm done. You ain't gonna hear from me after this. You're not gonna hear from me after this.